Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Bert's Bike. Today we're going to take out my buddy Zach's SV650. Now I've ridden the X version, but I've never had a chance to really take out the standard version. He's gracious enough to lend it to me, and he's got some cool stuff on here already. So this Leo Vince exhaust and this Corbin gunfighter seat. So it's not going to be a stock review, but it's going to be a great review anyway. A very cool looking bike. Has a lot of kind of curb presence to it in this color scheme with I guess that silverish gold trellis frame. Yeah, let's get into it. Nice little windscreen on here. Alright, riding up the bike, super easy. Alright. Oh my lord, that sounds amazing. Little sound check here. Hell yeah, Zach's nodding his head. Heck yeah. Alright, let's get into it. Ooh, okay. Kind of rear set pegs. Ooh. Yeah. This is why this bike's a legend. Super fun. Already I could tell you it's going to be a cool bike. Woo! Alright, just coming from that startup right there, man, it's just so responsive right off the bat. Alright. This pipe sounds amazing. Okay. This windscreen is doing a pretty good job here. Really good power on. Oh man, he's on my Bonnie. Alright, so ergonomics. My feet, if you're riding on the balls of your feet, are slightly kicked back. Kicked back for a more sporty stance. I like that. Really engaging. I'm 6'1", and I have a 32-inch inseam, and yeah, this is a really comfortable spot for my legs. They're tucked back, but not uncomfortably so. So the stock handlebar setup here is really comfortable, but I think if this were my bike, I would get some wider bars if I'm going to keep it in this kind of naked configuration. It's so easy to ride.
Alright, switching over to the studio mic. Right off the bat, the SV650 just inspires a lot of confidence. It's so planted and flickable, I didn't waste any time at all getting on the throttle. The fun factor on this bike is just through the roof. As you can tell by watching this video, I'm having a great time on this motorcycle.
Yeah, dude. The winner.
I know, dude. The more I ride it, the more I like it.
The pipe adds so much to the experience.
Yeah, the pipe's got character to it.
Yeah, that's like so much to the ride. I gotta change out the pipes on the body now. That little British pitter patter isn't doing much.
Alright, one thing to talk about here is this windscreen. Now I know the bike doesn't come with this stock, but if this were my bike, I would probably ride around with it without this windscreen. It doesn't do a bad job of keeping the wind off your chest, but I think I would enjoy this bike even more just keeping it a straight up naked bike. So I gotta say, the mirrors are in pretty much the perfect spot for this bike. You can pretty much see clearly to your left and right, and there isn't too much of a blind spot behind you. You can see a little bit of your arm in each mirror, but I think you can kind of adjust that out. Or depending on your body type, you might not see your arms at all. But as a whole, a very good job on the mirrors, Suzuki. Now, since this is an aftermarket seat, I won't really talk too much about that, but this Corbin seat is pretty nice. For those of you watching the channel, you'll know that I've owned a CB300R, and if I kept that bike, I probably would have bought this seat. It's pretty nice. All the controls in this bike are exactly where you need them to be. There isn't a whole lot of hoopla on the switch gears or anything. Everything is just where it needs to be. The quality of the switches feel really good, but really there's no surprise here. Just standard quality switches from a Japanese motorcycle. The next thing is this dashboard. Now, some people would argue that this dash is a little dated, and I guess it is. But you know what? When you turn the bike on, it fires up right away, and everything on it looks super crisp and clear. Also, the RPM gauge is very responsive without any real noticeable lag time. If I had to take something away from it, the screen could be a little convoluted, but I think if I owned the bike, I'd get used to the layout pretty quickly. As you can see, the slow speed maneuverability of this bike is a piece of cake. The clutch is predictable, so it's easy to feather in and out, and the throttle isn't jumpy or aggressive. It's smooth, snappy, and behaves predictably. So getting back to this LCD screen, one thing I can't stand from manufacturers is when they're trying to put a super high-tech screen on a bike, but everything about the screen is so slow, like you hit a button and it takes forever for it to do something. Or when you turn on the bike, there's like a boot time for the screen. Just give me analog gauges and call it a day. So all in all, I'm pretty glad Suzuki just left it alone. That's kind of their MO nowadays. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Moving on, let's talk about this gearbox. Now I have to say, this gearbox is excellent. It does everything it's supposed to, super smoothly, without any fuss at all. There's no weirdness in the gear lever and no notchiness after a shift. The shift points are predictable and the gear spacing is tall enough so that every gear is useful throughout most of the RPM range. And to me, that translates into a super fun and engaging motorcycle to ride.
This bike, it's just easy to ride, man. I mean, there's like almost no like learning curve, just on it and going.
In my opinion, this is a really great looking bike. It's got great curb presence, especially with this trellis frame and its metallic flakish gold look against this blue tank, as well as the pipe leading up to this Leo Vince exhaust. Here's a quick walk around of the bike with me jumping on it. You can kind of see the size reference here. I'm 6'1", about 185 pounds, and a 32-inch inseam. As you can see, the bike is really well balanced. It doesn't seem too top heavy or anything like that. Really, just a nice, well balanced machine. All in all, in my opinion, this is a very fun and amazing bike from Suzuki. You don't hear too much about the SV nowadays, probably because it's been out for so long and it hasn't really changed much in recent years. But honestly, I've ridden a bunch of newer bikes that aren't even made as well and nowhere near as fun as this SV650. This bike is a legend for a reason. Do yourself a favor and don't overlook this motorcycle. If you're looking for a great naked bike, I think you owe it to yourself to check this out. Is this a good beginner bike? Well, if you're a stone cold beginner, I generally don't recommend anything over 500 cc's, so I think this would be a good bike for someone with experience or just a seasoned rider looking for a second bike. As I've said already, the fun factor is through the roof on this, so if you're looking for a practical, fun bike that can grow with you, you should definitely check out the Suzuki SV650. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment below. This is Bert's Bike, and I will catch you on the next one.